Oh, for God's sake. There we go. Sorry, folks. Technical difficulties. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Spilling Tea. I'm your host, Tiffany Daniels. But before we get going, some real life shit, a little bit of venting, and then moving on to the usual disclaimers. So I've had the JDAH trial playing in the background as per normal when I'm working, right? She pulled at the end of the day has me a special level of pissed. Special level of pissed. So let me explain a few things to you all. And it actually does coincide with how some of these kids get thrown into the health spawn place that is the JRC, by the way. When overwhelmed, people with neurodiverse disabilities, for lack of a better term, a way to put it, self-harm. I've fucking done it. It wasn't with a knife. No. I just tried to bash my brains in, that's all. And no, I'm not exaggerating. I'm not joking. I would slam my head into the ground repeatedly as hard as I fucking could. Over and over and over again. And let's see here. What other shit did I try? Let's see. Tried to strangle myself. That shit didn't work. I would dig my nails so far into my skin. I wouldn't cut myself with a knife. No, I used my own actual fingernails to dig in near the veins as hard as I possibly fucking could. Yeah. When we are overwhelmed, particularly when we're in abusive situations, we do sometimes turn to self harm. You know how they talk about the head banging, they try and the gouging of the eyes that they talk about throughout these articles as the JRC's justification for their insanity? It's the same exact thing. They have picked apart how he talks, how he fucking stims, and now they are tearing him apart for something that any normal person would do in the same fucking situation, let alone someone who's neurodiverse. Her level, the fact that she was willing to push him that far and then be willing to do that to him today. Let's just say I look forward to when she gets cross examined. And we need to stop living in a goddamn world where people like me are vilified and called monsters and the worst things in the world and being thrown into places like the JRC because we are dangerous because you fucking people push us here. Alright. Not geared towards anyone who watches that channel. That was just some venting, okay? Sorry about that. Alright. Now the usual disclaimers. We do have the link to the article right there in the description box alongside the other pertinent links to the Stop the Shocks campaign, including Autistic Hoya's massive archive on the subject, plus to the templates, folks. You know the drill. Sign your name, click on your senator, and the ever-present self-explanatory change.org Shut the Judge Rotenberg Center Down petition. Folks, when we talk about the JRC, you're going to hear vivid descriptions of, catch clips of surveillance footage of peoples with disabilities being tortured and abused. If you got young children present, please use your headphones, alright? Okay. I am exhausted. I am pissed off. Yeah, yeah. So if I stumble over my words, folks, my apologies in advance, alright? I will try to keep the cursing down to the minimum, but I can make no promises. Alright, so we left off here, and I'm going to take a long drought of calming tea, because obviously I need it. Through the JRC's program of rewarding normative behavior, following commands, completing schoolwork, being compliant, fuck these people, and punishing both natural autistic behavior and distress responses, the JRC reorients the autistic body towards normativity and it attempts to render it docile. Fuck, I hate these people. To use Ahmed's words, the JRC attempts to straighten autistic bodies alongside normative lines of development. Ahmed 2006 states, rather in moving this way rather than that, and moving in this way again and again, the surfaces of bodies in turn acquire their space. Bodies are directed and they take the shape of this direction. Is that really what you dumb fucks think? If you do it enough, then you'll automatically start doing it that way. Karen. That's not how it works, honey. You can make us, force us to do it, quote unquote, normally 1,000 times a fucking day. Okay? But it's still nothing more than a mask. And when we feel safe enough to tear those masks the fuck off, we're going to move the way we are naturally inclined to move. This is such garbage. It really is. Let's go into it here. Bodies are directed and they take the shape of this direction. They really don't, folks. We make you think it does, but it really doesn't. The reflection on space and how bodies take the shape of ways in which they are directed has important implications for the JRC's treatment program and the use of space to impose narrative and meaning upon inmates, which I will discuss in greater depth in the following section. So let's talk about this, because I'm going to keep this relatively short here, shall we? Here's the concept, and here's why it's completely ridiculous. In a nutshell, in the most psychotic form of ABA I've ever seen in my life, they think if we keep making you do it this way over 1,000 times, that you'll just start doing it naturally and it will become normal and natural to you. I want to dissuade you of this myth immediately. No, it doesn't. It really doesn't. No matter how many times you try to force us to do a certain action, speak in a certain way, walk in a certain way, move, do, act as you fucking want us to so we don't make you people fucking uncomfortable, it's never going to be natural to us. It is not native to us. Let me put it in that way. Because that's not how we are built, people. You cannot force us by doing all the things that you make this romantic normal about and think that in the end you're going to end up with this romantic normal product that looks, acts, and thinks just like you. It's ridiculous. You put two quote unquote neurotypical people together. Do they move the same? No. Do they talk the same? No. Do they think the same? No. So if that is true between two neurotypicals, why the fuck are we forcing people with neurodiversity to conform themselves to this romantic idea that doesn't even have a real world equivalent? It's garbage. It's magical thinking. And I swear to God, I will say it until the day I goddamn die. Magical thinking has no place in medicine or in treatment. None. And you can sit there and say, because I can wear a mask and pretend to be normal for a certain amount of hours before I start going insane, that means, well, it must have worked. No, because it's a lie. Do you normal folks not know that? Whenever we pretend to be like you, act like you, speak like you, move like you, it's an act. It's a mask. It's a lie. And these people in the medical model, different stages, sure, JRC is very extreme in their approach. What you all want us to do is live, breathe, become the lie. You do not care the psychological trauma and damage that does to a human being as long as you people are no longer inconvenienced. And I'm sorry, but that's the real truth of the matter. If you actually cared about making us quote unquote functional, if you actually cared about us as human beings as we are, and all you really wanted to do was to make sure that we were successful, you wouldn't be trying to force us to be like you. You would try to meet us where we are and help us develop from there with logical, non-magical, actually proven methods that have worked time and again. Reasonable accommodations. For fuck's sake, noise canceling headphones are not a detriment to you people. I'm sorry if it gets you embarrassed in the marketplace because Miss Jones is looking down on you, but that's not my or your kid's fucking problem. That's all you. Provide reasonable accommodations. Surround your child with people who can help them develop at where they're at, to help them develop their talents, who help get them as they transition out into programs that play on their strengths. Instead of trying to force them to live a lie for the rest of their lives, because you want to know where those self-harm feelings come from? Yeah. Yeah. That's at least a part of it. Let alone the fact that you fuckers, on one hand, want us to pretend to be normal, and then on the other hand, like to use, manipulate, and abuse us. That's another thing dangerous about ABA and all this, by the way. These kids are taught to never say no. Think about that. Never say no, never speak up, never stand up for yourself, just comply. Tell me that's not dangerous. And on that note, folks, I'm going to close out for this evening. We don't get very many views on this channel. The few that we do get do tend to get removed from time to time. So, folks, please don't forget to hit the like button, hit subscribe, and don't forget to hit the comments. Do appreciate your time this afternoon. And as always, we here at Spilling Tea hope you have a good one. Bye bye.